So, good morning, everyone. Let's discuss the previous question paper of Ctet Pedagogy English. Now, see here, it is given a paragraph is given and few questions are given over it. Now, we are going to solve this one. I'm going to read the passage. The very nature of the mind is restless. It cannot stay at one place or hold one thought for long. For every thought that appears, that are comments, judgment, and associations. Thinking is a continuous activity with the mind jumping from one thought to another from morning till night. Like clouds in the sky or wave in the motion, thought appear and disappear as if in ceaseless activity. However, all thoughts that pass through our mind do not affect us, but we get affected when our ego is hit. Then the mind will create a tornado of restlessness within. A variety of probable scenarios crop up. How dare he insult me? What does she think of he herself? Where I am not respected, I will not go. If he speak thus, I will reply so. And so it is goes on and on. We have an inbuilt filter in our mind which choose the type of the thoughts or subjects that would like to brood upon. We are not born with this filter, but we acquire it over the years with the kind of books we read, the company we keep, and the subject we are interested in. That is why some people are obsessed with football, cricket, or fashion, while others could not care less for such things. This filter is built day by day by our actions, suggestions, teaching, and influence of others. We can ultimately choose our own filters, so let us learn to build our filter wisely and strengthen it daily. So, here one paragraph is given. So, 4 passages are given right over here. According to this one, we are having exactly 9 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and backside 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions are given. Now we'll go for the questions one by one. Which of the following statement is incorrect? So in the paragraph is given that which are the questions are incorrect. So if you know the answer, we can easily find out through the which are given in the passage. So anyone can able to guess the answer? Yes. Which of the following statement is incorrect? We like to be respected when we go somewhere. The filter in our mind influences our actions. Our thoughts do not remain stuck at one point. Each one of us has inborn filters in our mind. So anyone can guess the answers. What are the options? Either it may be 1, 2, 3, or 4. All the 4 we are having the options. So if you know the options, we can easily find out which of the questions are correct. Anyone? Which of the following statement is incorrect? Now second question, which part of speech is the underlined word in the following expression? But we get affected. Affected is the underlined word where we need to get the answer. Whether it may be adjective, adverb, particle, or anything. Yes. Now question number 3. Which part of speech is the underlined word in the following expressions? So which part of the speech is an underlined expression? Here 1. 1. So it is showing 1. Yes. Anyone can guess the answer? Yes. As if in ceaseless, fourth question, the word ceaseless means. I'm going to read the next question. So we'll do all the problem answers at a time. Question number 95. Creates a tornado of restless. The word tornado here means. And the next one is thoughts are compared. Thoughts are compared to the process of thinking. The next question, the process of thinking continues from. So there are four options. Here it is, four options are given right over here. So you can guess the answers perfectly. Yes. Anyone can guess the answers? Question number 98. Thoughts affected us when our sleep is disturbed, learning is affected, pride is hurt, job is affected. Now we are going to see the question number 95. The word tornado. Tornado means is nothing but tornado. Thunderstorm we are called as tornado. So most of the cases we are going to see in the United States. Yes, these tornadoes. Next, the question number 96. Thoughts are compared to. Whenever thoughts are compared, when we are going to compare our thoughts with others, so we are going to give the judgments directly. The process of thinking continues from. So the process of thinking continues from week to week, morning to night, year to year. See, in our mind, the thoughts are repeating processes which can be done in our day to day life. So a person cannot sit at one place and he cannot able to stop. So he is going to do somewhere compulsory. So I got an answer. Sri Gautam Bandi. It's an adjective. I think question number. So yeah, question number 92. So he is guessing the answer adjective. The process. Now see, in our daily life, the process of thinking will be continuous. There will be no rest for our thinking. We are not going to stop our thinking process, or we are not going to stop at any place, even in the night, in the dreams also. We are going to think some or the other things. Next, thoughts affect us when whenever our thoughts will be get affected, tell me. So our thoughts are which are significantly impact our ability to learn the process of new information. Thoughts are nothing but when we are going to get the thoughts, whenever we are collecting any new information, collecting new information, so that negative thoughts can be hidden, while we are going to focus only on the positive thoughts can enhance it. So that's why the question number 98 answer is learning is affected. Whenever our learning gets affected, thoughts also will be get, whenever thought will be get affected, learning also will be get affected. Now see the question number 99. Reading the following statement, our reading decides the filter in our minds. Second question, the filter in our mind controls our likes but not dislikes. Our reading decides the filter of our mind. This is true. Filter in our mind controls like but does not like. So this is a wrong statement in this one. Our reading decides the filter. Our reading decides the filter in our mind. This statement is true. Whenever we read something and consume influences, for example, guys, whenever we are seeing any videos of learning new thoughts will start getting in our mind, that process will make us continues to enhance our knowledge. and how to interpret information effectively, creating a mental filter. Now we'll go back to the previous three questions. These are the previous three questions. Which of the following statement is incorrect? And second question is, what part of the speech? What part of the speech? Yes. Can anyone guess the answers? Anyone can guess the answers? Yes. We like to be respected. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Incorrect. So we like to be respected whenever we go somewhere. So it is an incorrect statement, because the statement is a general observations. Everyone cannot be get respected. Someone will like the person, someone will not like the person. Someone will like the behavior, sometimes some may not able. For example, if you are going to some any parties, so if you are well disciplined, well dressed, some of the peoples think that he is going to show off. So some of the people, they cannot face, so that some will be get respected towards us, some will not be get respected. So the statement is, we like to be respected whenever we go. That is an incorrect statement. The second one is, yes, parts of speech affected is an adjective. In this sentence, the affected describes, affect is described, but we get affected. We means together, group of people, we called it as we. So the answer will be get adjective. The third question, if parts of speech of one, what is the parts of speech of one? So it is a one itself determines, it is a determiner. One modifies the place by specific quantity as a single one. It can be affected by the, it can be replaced by single one. The last one is, we have to know as if ceaseless activity. We have to find out the meaning of ceaseless. Ceaseless is nothing but continuous. Ceaseless is nothing but continuous. This is called as ceaseless. Ceaseless is nothing but continuous. And this ends the first paragraph. Now we go for the question number 100 to 105. This is the second paragraph. So device is locked. Wait for a few seconds. There might be some problems. Yeah. Here there are a few disturbances. So I'm going to fix it. So we're getting some disturbances right over here. Yes. Yeah. Now we are going to continue our class. So read the poem given below and answer the following questions. The time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves are none or few do hang upon those which shake against the cold, bare reunion chose, where late the sweet bird sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night do take away death's second self that seals up in the rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fires, that one of the ashes of youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which is nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love me stronger, to love that well, which thou lives ere long. So again the device is locked where for a few seconds. Yeah. Here the device is locked. Yes. So I'm going to read the question like this. In this season the branches have dash leaves. So you can see the question. Until I'm going to keep this one. Yeah. So if you know the answer, please guess the answer. Shh. Yeah, there might be disturbances for few seconds. Give me a minute of time. So I'm going to reset everything properly. Yeah. So just give me 1 minute time. Yeah. So I'm going to replace this one. Yeah. Welcome back to the class. Yes. So we'll continue our class. Yes. So here we are having a poem. So we need to find out the answers by the poem. So if you want, you can read the poem sentence. In this season, the branches have dash leaves. So he is asking that the branches is having how many leaves in it. Yes. How many leaves? Branches have dash leaves. So if you want, you can find out from these poems. When yellow leaves are none, few do hang. Here it is given clearly that when yellow leaves are none, a few do hang upon the boards, shake against the cold, bare reunion chance. So we are having the options to either one or two, few or no. Why? Because when yellow leaves are none, yellow leaves. So there are few leaves which are yellow, or some they are having none. Why did the branches, now see the next question, why did the branches of the trees enjoy earlier? Why did the branches enjoy earlier? Now you can see the second question. Here you can see the second question clearly. How did the branches enjoy? How did the branches enjoy? Yes, can any guesses? Why did the branches, what did the branches of the trees enjoy earlier? Why did the branches enjoy? Due to the sweet song of the bird. If you want, you can see from this one. Yes. Why did the branches of the trees enjoy earlier? Why? Because the it is given in the question, that is sweet bird is going to sing. So sweet bird is going to sing. That's why it is the branches of the trees were enjoying earlier. If turn the page, now we go for the question number 102. You can see the question number 102. Yes. Yes. See question number 1. Why do death second self stand for? What does it mean? Death second self. So if you are death second self, that means seal up all in the rest. You can guess the answers from here. Yes. Sleep that gives rest. So I'm going to think that that is the final answer. If you know the answer, please comment in the box down. What is the answer? Right, correct answer. Please type the correct answer below if you know the answer. Why? What does the death second is? So it is given in the poem clearly that you can see here. Death second self that seals up all the rest. Seals up all the rest. It is given clearly. So if I turn the page, you can see the question right over here. In the question you can see here, see the question, what does the death second self stand for? So the first option, dying for ashes of one's youth, setting sun. The last option is correct, sleep that gives us rest. Now see question number 103. That one ashes of the youth doth lie. What figure of speech has been used in the underlined figure? So in this underlined figure of ashes of his youth, it is a metaphorically represent the remnants or consequences of a person's of younger years. There is no direct comparison using like or as. No humans or qualities attributed to inanimate objects. So the answer is metaphor. The theme of the poem. What you are going to give the theme of the poem? Here it is given death in second self. Death in second self. Here only from here we can find out the clearly. We can make the theme of the poem of the idea of the death. Now we see the question number 105. The poet lives today is like dash. So the poet of the like is like autumn. Atom. Now see here question number 106. A teacher wanted her student to learn vocabulary effectively. Which of the following ways should she adopt to teach vocabulary in her classroom? So a teacher wanted to her students to study about the vocabulary. Yes, if you know the answer, please guess the answer. Ask her learner to underline the difficult words in a lesson and find their meanings in their languages. Ask them to find the meaning of the words in the dictionary. Ask them to group the words into meaning category and use them in real life purposes. Write all the new words on the blackboard and write their meanings in the languages of teaching. So, what is the question? A teacher wanted her students to learn vocabulary effectively. Which of the following ways she adopt to teach vocabulary in her classroom? Four options are given right over here. Which of the best option a teacher has to adopt to make child to understand the vocabulary very easily? టీచర్ ఏ మెథడ్ యూస్ చేయగలగాలో స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఆ వొకాబులరీ యాంటోనిమ్స్ అర్థం అవ్వడానికి సో 4 ఆప్షన్స్ ఇచ్చాడు. ఏ విధంగా స్టూడెంట్స్కి అర్థమయ్యే విధంగా టీచర్ ఎలా చెప్పాలి? సో బెస్ట్ ఆప్షన్ ఆస్క్ హర్ లెర్నర్ టు అండర్లైన్ ద డిఫికల్ట్ వర్డ్స్ ఇన్ ఎ లెసన్, ఫైండ్ దేర్ మీనింగ్స్ ఇన్ దర్ లాంగ్వేజ్. సో ఈ క్వశ్చన్కి అర్థం ఏంటంటే ఆస్క్ హర్ లెర్నర్ టు అండర్లైన్. సో ఎవరైతే స్టూడెంట్స్ చదువుతున్నారో ద స్టూడెంట్స్ హూ ఆర్ రీడింగ్ ద ప్యాసేజెస్, టీచర్ ఈస్ టెల్లింగ్ టు అండర్లైన్ ద డిఫికల్ట్ వర్డ్స్ సో దట్ దర్ ఈస్ నో మీనింగ్లెస్ ఫర్ దట్ వన్. ఆస్క్ దెమ్ టు ఫైండ్ ద మీనింగ్స్ ఆఫ్ ద వర్డ్స్ ఇన్ ద డిక్షనరీ. Teacher, this is not at all the correct statement. This is also not at all the correct statement. Why? Because teacher first she has to go through all the paragraph, all the lesson part, the poem. She has to understand she has to understand the meaning of the poem, and she has to make the student to write in the class itself where the teacher student are facing difficult word. The teacher herself has to underline the difficult words and she has to know and make the child to learn the meanings so that the student can able to use the alternate word which is replaced by the original meaning given in the paragraph. Now see, fourth one, write all the new words on the blackboard and write their meanings in the languages of teaching. So this is also not the correct way. She cannot write all the new words on the blackboard. It's not possible. Why? Because in a lesson, in a poem, we are getting lot of new words where we have to learn the meanings. It is not at all supportive, or it is not possible in the classroom at one time. The correct is when the students are in a group, each and every student is having their own knowledge so that they can able to identify the questions easily. Some of the students previously they have gone through the meanings which in the previous classes. The other students, those who are getting doubts, they may also get clarified in the group discussion. What happens means when it comes to group discussions, each and every student is having different kind of knowledges so that they can able to discuss themselves easily. So the option is ask them to group the words, meaning categories and use them in our real life. Now see question number 107. A reader gets the hint based on the sound symbol correspondence to the decode and comprehension that what is this known as? A reader gets the hint based on the sound and symbol. So the reader is getting, how the reader is getting the hint? By the sounds and symbols corresponding to the decode and comprehend. So this is called as sound itself we are getting from the graphophonic cues. From this we are getting this one. The last one, India's language in education policy is known as. We are getting, mostly we are going to use 3 languages. 3 language formula we are going to use in the education. So this is called as 3 language formula. This is called as three language formula. Now coming back to the next paragraph. Which of the following activity known as in vocabulary learning? So which of the following we are known as vocabulary learning? Can anyone guess the answers? Yes. So if anyone knows the answer, please type the answer in the comment box. What is the following activity known as in vocabulary learning? Find words which can be befriend the word rain. Example, heavy rain. The activity. So in this one, the activity of finding words that befriend the word name called as rain, likely, heavy and rain, is known as collocation. Now see question number 110. What is question number 110? A teacher asks her learner to join the sentences to make a short paragraph. Inserting supplied connectors and coherence marker like but, and, however, because, although, and, etc. What is the approach to writing known as? Approach is asking, yes, but, and, however, etc. These are used for controlling the composition. The approach where learner joins the sentences. A teacher her join the sentences. So sentence is going to join from a paragraph using connectors and coherence markers. But, and, however, because, although, some of the examples etc we are using to make a learner to frame the sentences, which are known as control compositions. An assessment done at the end of 6 months of one term. 6 months of one term is called, very simple, an assessment is nothing but exam. So there are different, previously before 2014 it was called as, we are going to write as slip test, unit test, and we were writing half yearly and annual exams. But after CC model, they have changed everything. They are converted it as unit test as formative assessment, and the second one they were introduced as summative assessment, which can be done half of the months, 6 months in the academic year. In one academic year, half of the teaching syllabus will be done by some months. If they are having, for example, 230 or 220 months maximally, so 4 months to 5 months or 6 months, one term, that one term is called as, we are going to click here, that one term is called as summative assessment. Now see question number 112. A teacher asks her learner of class 8 to read a novel by an Indian author and ask them to write essay giving their views on the novel. What is this known as a reading activity? Yes, what is this activity called as? Can anyone guess the answer? First one, extensive reading. Second one, reading information, scanning, and fourth one is intensive. A teacher asks her learner to class 8 to read a novel by an Indian author and ask them to write an essay giving their reviews on the novel. What is this known as a reading activity? It is called as extensive reading. When a teacher asks learner to read a novel and writing an essay giving their views, it is known as extensive reading. When teacher ఈజ్ ఆస్కింగ్ లెర్నర్ టు రీడ్ ఎ నోవెల్. సో టీచర్ ఏం చెప్తుంది, ఒక స్టూడెంట్కి నవల్ చదవమని చెప్తుంది. సో దాన్ని ఏ విధంగా తీసుకుంటామంటే ఎక్స్టెన్సివ్, intensive reading. Intensive, when teacher herself reads the novel is called intensive. When teacher asks someone to read the novel, that is called as extensive. Now see the next question. A teacher selected a text from a newspaper and dropped every fifth word and asked her learner to supply the missing word. What is the test is known as? Yes, a teacher selected a text from the newspaper and dropped every fifth word and asked her learner to supply the missing word. What is the test is called? So fill in the blanks. No, it is not fill in the blank. Complete the complete. Not this one. This is not a writing test. It is a closed test. Why it is called as closed test? Whenever teacher select some text or drop something or the fifth word, so the missing word we are going to fill, that is called as a closed test. Multi-languageism is a strategy. Multi-language is nothing but teacher is going to use the language in which the student can able to understand in the easy method. Teaching learning at least 3 languages contained in their mother tongue. So this is not the correct option. Teaching of all the subjects in English medium, teaching Indian language as a language. This is also not the correct option. Teaching of foreign language. This is not at all is correct option. The option is nothing but the option number 4 is the correct answer. Using the language of learner for teaching learning of languages and content subject. So content subject should be present in that one compulsory. Now it comes to question number 115. Denotive meaning of a word. Yes, denotative meaning of a word. We have to know the what is the meaning of denotative. Denotative is nothing but denotative. So if you want, you can guess the you can see the meaning of this one in the dictionary. This is called as basic or factual. Basic is nothing but normal one. So basic or factual. So the answer is the factual or the basic meaning. We acquire, now see the question number 116. We acquire knowledge by understanding input that is a little beyond our current level competence. What is the pedagogical concept known as? Here we are using a pedagogical concept that is called as input hypothesis. Why it is called as input hypothesis is the languages occurs when learner exposed to comprehensible input that's slightly beyond their current level of competence. Now see the question number 117. What is the status given to English by the Indian Constitution? Status. What is the status given to the English by the national language? No. Link language? No. Official language? It is not an official language. It's a associate official language. Next question is 118. Question number 118. Okay, some they are mentioning the okay VIP exam solutions. They are telling that I'm teaching very fastly. ठीक है भाई साहब, थोड़ा हल्लो ही बता दूंगा मैं क्वेश्चन पेपर पैटर्न. I think we got some messages from भाग दौड़ में इतने लीन हो गए कि पता ही नहीं चला गोलगप्पे कब 10 ख़त्म हो गए. ओके, भाग दौड़ में इतने लीन हो गए कि 3 हो गए. ओके, the same message we got thrice. Okay, sorry brother. So if you want to explain me slowly, I'll explain very slowly also. What are the 3 components of PPP model of teaching? What are the three components which are using for the PPP? So we have to know what is the full form of PPP meaning. So now see, I'm going to write here P, P as well as P denotes the present, practice as well as produce. The PPP model means present. First we have to present, then we have to practice, then we have to produce. First we have to listen. Anything we have to listen. Then we have to do practice. Then we have to make, try to make ourselves own, we have to make. Yes, next questions. Question number 119. लो ये बता दूंगा भैया. Yes, a teacher of class 8 discussed determiners in her classroom through a short text in which determines occur many times and learner were made to notice them in use. This was followed by learners using the same in their own language for practical purposes. Teacher then brought to the notice of the learner the uses of the determiners in context. What strategy did the teacher employ in her classroom? Very simple. Class 8, in class 8, a teacher is telling to the learner where we are getting the word determiners. Say yes, wherever we find the determiners were noticed so many times. Finally, which strategy did teacher employ in her classroom? They are asking that teacher of 8th class discussed determiners in the classroom through a short text in which determiner occur how many times and learners were made to notice. Give me a minute. So Madhu, he is telling that give me a minute to answer. Afterwards you tell sir. Okay, fine. So take a fraction of seconds of time to read the question as well as to tell the answer. So many students are unable to wait for such most of the times. Why? Because I'm going to discuss the Ctet all papers. I said no, I'm having at least 5 to 6 previous academic year question papers. Until you read this answer, this is not a promotion. So I'm going to tell a book name called as McGraw-Hill Education. So this is the objective which I have used previously for all the examinations, for competitive examination or for regular how to speak in English or to how to frame the sentences properly. You can go through for this one book. So this book which is available in Hyderabad Koti Center, you can go for the next series edition where I'm getting lot of information from this objective. This objective book is not only for our general English. This is used for the all the comprehensive objective competitive examination also, which can be used. So you can see here. Yes, these are all the recruitments and exams which they are going to conduct. Here also you can see. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this one. And here also we are having few names. I think you can able to see it. Yes, here also we are having, so that it can be useful for everyone anywhere. Yes. So coming back to the class, Madhu, can you get the answer? Yes, I see Madhu is in online. Yeah, Madhu, can you guess the answer? What kind of teaching strategy which is used in the classroom? Yes. So can I tell the answer? Yes. The teacher employed a strategy consciously, consciousnessly, consciousness rising. Why? Because this approach focuses on making learning aware of specific linguistic feature like determiners, how they are used in the context rather than expecting teaching rules. The teacher first exposes student to determiner in a text. Wherever the teacher said to see the determiner word, so the learner is going to underline that word. So the answer is task based. No, it's not second one, Madhu. It's the first one. It's a consciousness consciousness raising. So please take the answer first one. Now can you guess the second one answer? Yes. A teacher found someone aspect of language learning. Example, reading with understanding a text on scientific concept. Here, a teacher found some of the aspect that the students are reading some text by understanding by using the scientific concept. She decided to pick a student who find it difficult on the particular aspect. She took separate session for them to support them read, understand such text. What is the trying to do here? So teacher is those who are text, understanding the text in the scientific concept. Teacher is making some of the student to for the session separately. Here he is asking that what is she is trying to do. So teacher is trying to get the feed. This is called as a feedback teaching. Why it is called feedback teaching is nothing but the student they are understanding in the scientific concepts and providing the separate sessions to support them in overcoming these difficult. Teacher providing targeted feedback and remedial instructions. Yes, that's it. So up to now we have took part in the pedagogy teaching. Pedagogy, that is not pedagogy, that is only pedagogy English. In the Bachelor of Education, whose language is first English. So pedagogy of English is done. So we can continue our class in the evening session. In that one I am going to show one more paper of the pedagogy English. We have done from question number 91 to 100. So if you want, you can take the screenshot. So I'll keep the questions for 5 minutes continuously for 1 minute. So if you want, you can take the screenshot of this one. Yes. So if you want, I can upload more videos. If you are on the answers, you can take the screenshot of the questions and you can practice. And this is about the previous question paper of the Ctet English, pedagogy English. So thank you everyone. Thank you. Have a nice day.